Greetings, royal family, and welcome to another message by the Honorable Yahweh Beit Nun Sophie Yahweh. Now, royal family, this message was taught many years ago by the Honorable Yahweh and is being presented to you today by Yahweh's royal priesthood. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Visit us at Yahweh's royal priesthood, www.yahweh144000.com. And also, royal family, join us at the University of Yahweh, where classes are designed for the Godhead. Visit us at www.universityofyahweh.org. Also, royal family, listen to our weekly podcasts by the University of Yahweh, found on most podcast platforms. We look forward to you being there as well. Enjoy, royal family.
Praise Yahweh. Yes, you don't know what a goodly time is until you start keeping the laws of Yahweh. Deuteronomy 16. Deuteronomy 16. Verse 13. Read.
Thou shalt observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. After that thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine.
And 14, read.
And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast.
See? This is a rejoicing time. In the feast. You ought to just know that ought to be fun the way you love to eat. We are a people that love to eat. But in verse 12 it says what? And thou shalt remember that you were a bondman in Egypt. And that's not all you need to remember. You've been in bondage twice. You need to remember you were not only a bondman in Egypt, but a bondman in America. Forgetting that you were a bondman means you repeat the process. So evidently we forgot we were bondmen in Egypt, so we have repeated the process in America. Deuteronomy 28:68. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Verse 68 tells you, yeah, you were in bondage before, but you're not through with it. Read.
And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. And no man shall buy you.
No man will buy you back, but me. Says you will be sold again in ships. You were never sold in Egypt in ships because we were already over there. You read this book and you'll see the children of Israel walked into Egypt. We didn't go by ship, we walked in. And we didn't leave Egypt by ship. Yahweh parted the Red Sea. We walked across the bottom of the Red Sea. Then you walked in the desert for 40 years. So the only people that have been brought from Egypt in ships is the so-called black man of America. And you were sold to your enemies, who've been an enemy ever since you've been here. He hasn't changed from being your enemy. Some people don't like to hear it, but you better hear it. You go walking through some neighborhoods and you'll find out you still have some enemies. They don't know your name. You never did anything to them. Huh? I bet you're not brave enough to walk through certain neighborhoods after everything's supposed to be all right. It's not all right. And your thinking it's all right is a tragedy. Your enemies that brought you into slavery and have sold you since you've been here and used you and abused you since you've been here, pretended to free you in 1865. He took the shackle off your ankle and put double shackles on your brain. And you've been mentally and spiritually shackled ever since, and you're worse off now than ever. Because you went through 30 years of actually thinking you are equal because you sat in school with the same people that wrote the textbook before you got there. And they wrote the same textbooks for the last 30 years that you've been sitting there. And they're all designed to make you look for a job and be a servant. And never create a job. And because I am come among you doing a good work of creating jobs across America for our people, our same enemy is trying to cut you off from me and me off from you. Why? Because he doesn't really want you to have anything. And anyone who sets up a role model of excellence, he is against that. Why is he against it? Because he didn't bring you to America to be made equal to him. That's not why he brought you here. And if you think he's going to be happy to watch his ex-slave sit equal to him, he'll give you a few more thoughts to consider. Now, my same people who thought the war was over and that there were only a few little brush fires to put out have discovered that the war is more intense now than ever, and everything you thought you gained, they call it turning the clock back. Clock never was turned up. You were blind to the time, suffered from an illusion and a delusion. And right now you have kids 30 years old, don't know Martin Luther King. Martin who? Kids go to Martin who? People think that they are working in certain corporations because they have earned it. It's their merit. You know, I went to college. I'm here because of my abilities. Nobody gave me anything. I earned this job. Really did. Don't ask me for any money. Giving you niggas nothing. I don't even live around niggas. A nigga? What is a nigga? The people over there? White folks know how to make you remember each other. It's called, you don't have a voting rights bill anymore. Neither did they pass the civil rights bill for you again. Took it too. You haven't had that since '84. Now, set aside is gone. Now, affirmative action is gone. And now you've marched on Washington again, and it's still gone. I'd just like to know the next time y'all plan to march in Washington, and I'll try to own a hotel and a couple of restaurants and a shoe store when you get there, and I'll make sure I own Trailways and Greyhound, so that you'll have a place to rest. I'll be able to get some of your money this time. They're glad to see y'all march. They make money off you marching. The money that you spend marching, you could produce a few Blackalacks. Oh, you call them Cadillacs. You could produce a Blackalak. Now you can logically follow what I'm saying, but you know you can't get your people to do none of that. The Japanese just bought Sony under the name Sony. See, the Japanese family under one of their smoke screen division called Sony, just bought the largest movie studio in America. Columbia now belongs to Kawasaki Nissan. Teriyaki sauce. And we can't wait for them to put out a new Godzilla. 60 million of us would be sitting up in the movie, eating Japanese popcorn, drinking Japanese Cokes, watching a Japanese Godzilla speak Japanese. You'll be there, hey, you'll be going for it. 60 million black folk will turn out to the Japanese movie. Still in the ghetto, fussing, cussing, standing on the corner, sitting on crates, fighting over a little piece of turf, selling some funny little stuff in some funny looking little bags, on their way to jail. It's only a matter of time. Japanese buying up the country, and you haven't awakened to buy a thing yet. But Yahweh ben Yahweh's awake. Praise Yahweh. And those that follow me are awake. And we pool our pennies to buy income-producing property. And the same enemy, our common enemy, is jealous. And have made a move to try to take it from us. Those that don't have anything are sitting around the corner laughing. Yeah, they finally got the Yahweh, boy. They finally. I told you, boy. I told you. I don't care what he says or what he does, or what he thinks. I am going to get you, the country, and the world to rule. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Every time my enemy throws a brick at me, I take it and build a house with it. Praise Yahweh. He can say what he wants, but he can't stop us from putting our money together. Praise Yahweh. It's crazy to let all these nations come to America and buy up everything. Where are we going to stay? Well, I'm going to make sure we stay somewhere. I'm making sure. It must be earth shake. I must shake the government of something horrible. Because whatever they say or do, it doesn't stop me, it doesn't deter me, it doesn't slow me down. I just keep right on getting up. Praise Yahweh. I work day and night to prove to my people in America that you can get rich being good. You don't have to be bad to get rich. Because if you be bad and get a lot of money, he's got the same trap to take it from you. We spread out across the country doing good. And nobody can stop us from doing good. We have the opportunity in America. We are free to do good. That's one thing we're free to do. Where in the world do the Japanese get $3 billion to pay cash for a movie house? They put their money together. Why don't our people put their money together? We have hundreds of thousands of leaders. We have more leaders than anybody on earth. Whole countries only have one leader. We have a leader in every block almost. Yeah, a TV crew can go to any block in town and find a leader. He'll be right on TV tonight. A local black leader said, none of us ever saw this nigga before in our life. And if they want to try to discredit my work, they'll go through all of town to find one person that'll say something negative. The TV camera is full of hours of people saying good about what I'm doing. Huh? And they keep going until they find one that'll say something bad against what I'm doing. Guess who gets on TV? The thousands that say good? No, the one that said bad. He becomes star for a day. Only one day. Those are the tricks we live under. But Deuteronomy 16 says, observe the month of Abib in verse 1. Observe the month of Abib. And before my coming, you didn't know that existed or when it was. Now you're beginning to learn. And we just read why in Numbers, is that correct? That is a goodly feast. In 24:5 we found out it's a goodly feast. And in Deuteronomy 16:13 we found out that we should observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. And in verse 14 that we should rejoice. Now let's read verse 16. Read.
3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God Yahweh in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord Yahweh empty.
Verse 17, read.
Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God Yahweh, which he hath given thee.
Now here we see, and we just read earlier, that if you know this law and have read this law and refuse to obey this law, you will be beaten with many stripes. That means you'll be punished in many ways. Now, who taught you to forget this law? Our enemies. And he gave us his laws, which he changed from God's law. and have you celebrating January as the first of the year, when Yahweh said Abib is the first month of the year, and it doesn't fall in January. So now here we have a whole nation of people who belong to God breaking his laws. And we've read also in Deuteronomy 28, we would be placed under curses if we fail to keep his law. Then Yahweh said, and we read tonight, that if we don't know the law and can't keep it, we will still be beaten and punished. Now, what's the opposite of a curse? A blessing. So Yahweh promises that when we keep his laws, we're blessed and we'll have a goodly time. And this feast I have taught us how to put Yahweh first. We give a tenth to Yahweh first, then we pay ourselves a tenth, and then we take care of our spiritual family, and then we take care of our earthly family. And then we let the enemy fight over whatever's left. But when you fail to keep the laws of Yahweh, money comes through your hands, but it all goes out. And you don't know where your money went. Some of you don't know how much money you made in the last 10 years. Because you never paid yourself. You received money, but you never paid yourself. And when you don't love Yahweh and fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, you'll never pay yourself. And we found out getting a check is not our pay. That's the opportunity for us to receive pay. And the only way you're going to receive pay after somebody gave you a check, you're now free to do with it what you want. You can throw it away, you can buy junk, you can cash it, don't cash it. You can do whatever you want. You can be a fool with it, foolish, or you can follow the laws of Yahweh and you'll be rich. Because every time you get a check, you pay yourself out of it before you pay anybody. Don't you think you deserve first place? You work for it? You can't make yourself first. You won't even pay yourself first if you forget Yahweh. You just won't do it. You may put something in the savings account, but you go in and get it. Oh, it drives you crazy to have some money in a savings account. It bugs you out of your mind. You see a car, you got to have it. You start finding out the down payment of what you got saved. Then you start, now you no longer want to save. You want to put enough money up to put down. When you put it down, that means you put it away from yourself. Now, all that you had worked to save is in the pocket of the other man. Huh? And you have some rusting boats that's steadily depreciating and going to nothing. It's a cancer to your pocketbook. Now you become a slave to your car. You take better care of it than you do your children. Oh, got to have my car now. We gotta get around. Kids need some milk. Hey, baby, you know. Hey, that's cool about the baby, but see, my car has a flat tire. You know what he's gonna fix first. Feed the baby or fix the flat? That's something else when you love a car more than you love your family. Then you buy it on a 5-year plan. It used to be a 24-month plan. Then it went to a 36, then a 48. Now it's a 60 month. Some have a 7, and for Rolls Royces, no, for Mercedes-Benz and things, it gets up to a 10-year plan. Say they ride longer, they last longer, so you can get it for 10 years. It's not worth 2 cents in 10 years. Where some of you drive, it's not worth 2 cents in 2 years. What, am I saying you shouldn't have a car? No. I said you have to put Yahweh first in order to pay yourself first. And there's no need to pay yourself if you're going to take it out. Well, you who haven't learned that, praise Yahweh. There are those that follow me that have learned it and are in the process of doing something about it and will never be broke again for the rest of your lives. I'm the only man alive that teaches you to take the little bit you have and make something out of it. This is called common sense teachings, divine teachings, righteous teachings. No other teacher does it. I'm the only one that teaches followers how to be rich. And whatever you put before me, I take it and make you rich with it. While people on the outside hear all kind of funny stories because your enemy doesn't want you to hook up to me and get rich. Isn't that the funniest thing you ever saw? But then we should know our enemy by now, but my people don't. They still believe the newspaper, the radio and television, and they still believe milk comes from the grocery store. Yeah. More than half of our children that go to school believe that milk comes from the supermarket. Where does milk come from? Comes from a cow, and they don't know it. My people think butter comes from little black Sambo running from a tiger around a tree. That's what I was taught. What a shame. We're in bad shape. Anytime you think that's the way you get better. But here we have 3 great holidays every year to keep. And you don't have to appear empty. We come and spend plenty of money. In fact, we come 3 times a year to spend all we can get hold to. And go back home and have a fat bank account. We have our money working for us. Huh? How many in here know the secret? How to be rich? Is it guaranteed or not? Guaranteed. No tricks. All it requires is you to put who first? Yahweh. Who next? Oh yeah, it's real. Every man that follows me is able. I resurrected Abel. Cain killed Abel, but I resurrected Abel. Praise Yahweh. See, to keep you ignorant, they misspell Abel in the Bible. In the Bible, Abel is spelled A-B-E-L. But see, I've resurrected A-B-L-E. That's his real name. We are now what? Able. Capable. Competent. Shrewd. Adroit. Clever. Proficient. Employers. Prosperous. Successful. Erudite. You're sagacious. Oh yeah, we all of that. Able. Without Yahweh, you're unable. And we're at the bottom of the pit in America without Yahweh. sitting around, watch all these immigrants come to this country with nothing, pool their pennies together, and get rich. Come in your poor now you know, anytime somebody can come to your neighborhood, you know how poor the ghetto is? Have y'all ever looked at the ghetto lately? You know how poor people are in the ghetto? And yet people come to America, get off the boat, set up shop in the ghetto. And within 3 or 4 years, they're living in $1 million mansion. We've been in the ghetto for 434 years and unable to get a thing without Yahweh. I have the answer to all the world's problems. I have the solution to all the world's problems. So I have the key. I have the solution. What's the solution? Yahweh's perfect laws of morality. See, the first thing I did is I went throughout the drug areas and everywhere else and educated all the brothers to who Yahweh is. All over America. Everybody knows. I don't care what kind of gun. We all the people go through the Crips territory and the Bloods territory and anybody else's territory, and they go all around us and shooting up folks. They kill each other for wearing white, excuse me, wearing red and green and black and yellow and whatever, but see, they know white is right. Don't be messing with white. So we go wherever. Praise Yahweh. So we educated all of our people who Yahweh is. He's great, good, terrible, and black. He's the mighty God. So I have the respect from everybody. It's the word. I'm proving that the word of Yahweh has all power. Here I am coming and producing these feasts 3 times in a year where we have peace and love and joy. And we learn how to have a perfect life and a perfect family and a beautiful community. Huh? And we know the enemy is upset about that, but that's tough because we steady adding members to people who want to be good. See, to follow me, you don't have to put on white because most of my followers don't wear white anyway. We're too smart for that. Every single day we add into the numbers. Glory. Oh, hallelujah, Yahweh. I love you.